Hey guys, welcome back to the layout once again. It's been a while since the last update, but I've been back for Thanksgiving break. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving yourselves, and haven't really had a ton of time to work on the layout, but I was back today, and my friend Ryan's been here helping me out. So he's over here somewhere in the room. And yeah, we got a little bit of work done today, so that's why I'm going to kind of recap in this video. Don't have a ton to show, but figured I should get this video in, and then it's only 2 weeks until I come back for winter break, at which time I'll get a bunch more work done. Anyway, let me just walk around. I'll show you what I've been working on. Nothing huge, but up here in Crawford, did a little bit of fascia work on the front, just kind of a finishing touch so we can get one step closer to doing scenery. Still need to get the second mainline track in through here, as well as the helper pocket. But if we continue this way, you'll actually see I started a little bit of a scenery shell. So what I've done here, for this piece right here, and then that hill down there, I have taken painter's paper, which is this kind of like pretty thick brown paper. I crumpled it up and put it underneath, just kind of balled it up and taped it down. And then with more painter's paper that I also crumpled up and then stretched back out, I laid that over the crumpled paper balls and then taped it down on the plywood surface here and then also against the wall. So I'm going to do the same thing here. This is kind of where I stopped the fascia on the upper level because I ran out of time. So I marked up where there's going to be the road surface. You can see I marked a road in right here. This is going to be Annan Street. So if you look at the real Crawford on Google Maps, Annan Street is actually there. So I'm trying to incorporate a few real prototype landmarks. Don't have everything in, but this will eventually, when we get scenery in, it'll look at least something like the real Crawford. So I still need to cut this fascia out and then do the same thing on this side that I did over there, and continue the fascia this way. And again, I did the same scenery shell technique down here where I just taped it down on the edges. This scenery portion down here, pre-scenery I guess you could call it, is very similar to what I just showed you. The only difference being, if you look underneath here, you will see that I actually did a cardboard web, lattice, whatever you want to call it. And this will all be, I'll recap all this in the construction video that where I documented my process and progress. But basically I just marked out kind of a skyline and then, or a horizon. And then with cardboard strips, I laid down a web of cardboard, and once that was in place and I was happy with it, I came in with more of this painter's paper. I crumpled it up, and the reason I crumpled it up is to kind of make it easier to bend and conform to the web that I'd already created, the cardboard skeleton. And then with hot glue, I just laid a couple of beads of glue, not a couple, I laid beads of glue basically on every strip, and then laid down a sheet that I cut to fit. So you'll notice I have this like little berm cutout right there, which is, if you look at photos of the lower horseshoe curve area of Crawford Hill, that is actually there. So again, that's another landmark that I tried to incorporate. It'll give you kind of a better sense of exactly what line we are modeling. And this is actually pretty sturdy as it is, but eventually what we will do, anywhere you see paper scenery shell, like here, and the two areas that I showed you over here, that will eventually get covered with a layer of plaster. We'll let the plaster harden, and then when it's all dry, we'll come back, paint it, and then we can go over it with our ground cover, which could be dirt, grass, foliage, trees, whatever. So that is the idea. Some people do it differently. You know, maybe you do a cardboard web and then cover it with plaster gauze, but the end result is exactly the same, and this is just the technique that I chose. Anyway, if we continue down this way, don't have anything else really on the upper level. The plan was to get all the fascia in along here and then at least get the scenery base in along this portion, but I did not get around to that just because I worked on fascia on other parts of the layout, which I'll get to in a second. You can see here I also experimented with some wire fencing that is actually pretty easy to bend. The only problem is it's really hard to cut, so don't know how much I'm going to use that, but gives you a sense of, you know, how I might have the tunnel cut out, because we're going to have a tunnel portal here, Excuse me, and this is kind of how I was imagining the scenery going. Some pretty tall mountain stuff going on up here. But one thing you will notice is that I got the backdrop up along the upper level on this side all the way down there, and also on the lower level in our industrial junction area. So I also cut out the section here where we're going to have our other tunnel, where this reverse track comes back through the backdrop. And as I showed you, I ended the backdrop up along here on this vertical stud because I want to keep, on the lower level, I want to keep this area open. That'll eventually be covered by a backdrop separating the two scenes. Because if I cover that right now, it'd be kind of tough when I'm working on scenery to reach in from the other side and do scenery work like way up here. That'd be kind of difficult. So that's why I'm leaving off the backdrop for now. And the upper level I've left off because I have actually not completed the sub-roadbed or track work back to the upper staging room. I probably should be doing that before working on any scenery, but I'm just trying to get done what I can get done. So once I get some more track, I will finish the final run up to the upper staging area. Another thing I've been working on is finishing the fascia on the lower level. So I added a piece in right there as well as right here. And what that's allowed me to do is fill in some more voids. So just like I did with the other paper shell scenery, I've been doing the same thing anywhere there's a gap between the fascia and the sub-roadbed. So I did a little section right here, which I'm going to continue down into the yard area. And for larger portions where I think there's going to be a building or maybe a road, I have added in some pink foam, and this is just 1/2-inch foam. The reason I got it so thin is that our sub-roadbed up here is a 1/2 inch thick, and since nothing will adhere to the side of this drywall, since it's all chalky, I did a little, or the idea is that I'll do a couple of foam supports underneath here that'll act kind of as I don't know, like little notches that come out that I can actually just rest the foam on top. So then I can cut out strips that'll fit between the sub-roadbed and the fascia that'll eventually go here, and they'll rest. I can glue the foam edge directly to the inside face of the fascia because it'll stick to fascia. But then since I can't glue the other side of the foam to the directly to the side of the sub-roadbed, I'll just rest it on top of those little foam tabs that'll stick out from underneath. And since this sub-roadbed is 1/2 inch thick, that's why I got the 1/2 inch thick foam. Excuse me. That way I just have a smooth surface here, and we can have a wider right-of-way, and it'll be easier to build up scenery from there. But anyway, that's like I pointed out, put a little bit of foam scenery in down there. Continued that paper shell scenery, filling in any gaps along this portion here, and then out front here as well. And if we move to the other side, you'll see I've done a little more fascia. I actually got it completed all the way around the end of the peninsula here, and it's kind of hard to get a good angle here since I'm so close, but it actually turned out really well. And finally, if we look down at this scene here, well, first, haven't done anything on the upper level of this side, but if you look here, you can see again completed the fascia all the way to the wall down there, and at least along a portion of this I have some scenery base in, and this, instead of the paper shell scenery, I'm using the foam over here. I don't know exactly what we're going to do scenery wise, but I imagine we might have a road here, and if not, we'll just build up, we'll probably have a few hills or something, maybe an elevated road, and we'll build that scenery up from this foam surface, possibly with more foam. But anyway, the point is I put this in here so we have a good foundation to do whatever we want with the scenery in the near future. So I think really that's it. That's all the work that I've gotten done. As I said, I'm going to be back in a couple weeks when I come back for winter break. And at that time, I'll hopefully have a little bit more track so I can complete some track work up here along the upper level. And in addition to that, also have a couple locomotive projects, and then I'd also like to get some more of the scenery filled in anywhere that there's holes like you see here. So anyway, that's all I have for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you guys next time.